everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Authentically Naturale.
Today we're going to be talking about the imposter syndrome. And so we are going to put the definition of imposter syndrome down here on the screen, just so you know the official definition. However, we're not going to say the official definition because we're just going to say what we feel like it is. You know what I'm saying?
Our connotation. Yes.
So, I actually wanted to talk about this topic because I feel like it's a topic that a lot of people in like the media industry talk about a lot.
Yes.
And being in that industry for 5 years, I kind of just want to so I just really want to really make sure that people know that it's okay to have imposter syndrome, but you need to be able to move forward.
Exactly.
So my definition of imposter syndrome is when, can I just use an example?
Yeah, use an example.
Do I have to do the
That's
definition?
you that we want to define everything. Use an example.
Okay, an example. For instance, when I was in news, I felt like I had to be someone different than who I really was. And sometimes that can come in I want to just give a couple of examples of how news people do that. For instance, I wore my hair straightened all of the time, and I knew I didn't really want to. Like when I was off work, I never straightened my hair, but whenever I had to go to work, I always straightened my hair. A lot of people change their voices. Like news reporter, they have a news reporter voice, and then they have their voice, and I feel like that's so weird. You know? And then a lot of people will report on stories that they aren't passionate about. And I feel like, and even dress a certain way that they really wouldn't dress. Since I've been out of news, I have not worn not one thing that I wore every single day on news.
Wow.
I haven't done it, and I feel so good. And people are like, well, what's your reporter voice? First of all, I never had a reporter voice because I feel like my voice is fine the way it is. There are some people that feel like their voice is just not there, so they do that.
Hey, yeah.
And so, whatever.
You know, I would have a reporter voice because you don't want this talking on your
But it became very detrimental to my mental health and my physical health. And I'm very glad not to be in that same space. A lot of people ask if I miss the news.
I think you get that all the time.
I get that almost at least every week.
Yes.
But I feel like I miss certain aspects of the news, but the everyday grind, no.
No.
So
no, not at all.
That's my example of imposter syndrome.
Yeah. And that is like a really good example tied into the definition, because oftentimes, imposter meaning you are in ways exemplifying someone else or whatever, whoever you feel is right for that moment within that role. Another example that I was discussing with Kasey a little earlier was, with imposter syndrome, a lot of times we feel like we don't belong in those spaces. When I started out in higher education, I started off as a recruiter, and as a recruiter, you have to be this very bubbly, energetic, very, in your face, because you're selling a product, you're selling the school or whatever. There are different recruiters for different companies as well. But it was just always me sometimes not feeling adequate enough because the college was going through major changes, and it seemed like I couldn't keep up with some of the changes. Or, I had someone who I worked with that was not affirming. I'll just say that. So it just always seemed like it was competition. And it was unhealthy. And, I didn't express some things. Only my really close friends knew about how I felt. But of course, I had to act like everything was okay going in. So I felt that way, and in ways, just like what Kasey said with news, I felt like I had to put on a facade of having to be a person. And don't get me wrong, I feel like I am a very high energy, energetic person.
I was about to say that.
But if I'm chill, my close friends aren't gonna just be like, "Are you okay?" No, they know Jasmine's relaxed. Like Jasmine is okay, she's just, but for people that see a certain side of you all the time and they see you, okay, you're coming in, you're just chilling, they're gonna be like, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm okay. You just need to get out my face because I don't feel like talking. I'm drained." So definitely, just get out my face. So, but you can't say that in the work environment. So you just gotta be like, "Well, I'm fine. I'm just over here, just doing my thing." But That's how I feel about it.
And I feel like, I know that this...
I
feel
say
like
women go through it a lot.
Yes.
Like women, we go through it a lot.
I can definitely see that for sure. And I also feel like going through things like as a black woman or a black person in general.
Girl.
Like I know covering the news as a black person, it's like you have to detach, but it's easier, I feel, for a white person because they're not in the white neighborhoods covering these stories. They're in the black neighborhoods, so they automatically know that that's not like their hood or their like neighborhood or like their community. Like it's not somebody who looks like them. Mm-hmm. But I had to like literally like would have to stop crying and then go on TV and act like I wasn't crying.
Or those emails you would get.
Yes, I got a lot of hateful emails. And I mean, I got some uplifting ones as well, but it's just like I had to like so much to process, and then I would go on camera and act like nothing was wrong.
And that's unfair because we only ask black people to do that.
Yeah.
We only ask black people to get over stuff, get over yourself long enough to get through it. We don't ask other ethnicities. Well, I won't say other ethnicities. We say black people or people of color. We don't do that to our white counterparts.
No.
If something's going on with them, they're going to suggest therapy. They're going to suggest, oh, well, this is that. But they're not going to suggest that to
or they'll make it seem like, well, I didn't do that.
Yeah,
like I didn't say that, and so I don't know why you feel like that.
Exactly.
And then it's like, I know I feel the way I feel, but dang.
Exactly. And then, of course, if you say something, they try to make it into a race thing.
Yeah.
And it's funny because they love to say, we make it into a race thing. And when I say they, I mean white. Mm-hmm. We make it into a race thing, but in actuality, we're not trying to. We're just trying to say, hey, so... And that goes on to...
It's just because we actually see a difference in how you treat people.
Yeah, absolutely. And then that goes on to us educating, but it's like, how can we educate you when you're not trying to be educated? But anyway...
Back to imposter syndrome, because we can talk about that.
We talk about that all day.
But I feel like oftentimes a lot of people don't know what imposter syndrome is. Yeah. So then they're like, I feel weird and I don't know why. Yes. Or I feel like I'm being fake and I don't know why.
Yes. Yes.
And that's kind of like I know that I'm not being my authentic self in this moment. That means that you probably have imposter syndrome.
Exactly. Which, just like what Kasey said, is black, and no shade to the men. We just can't speak from y'all's perspective, but we can speak from a black woman's perspective. That we can experience that a lot because we're having to be like, okay, straighten our hair, or not put our hair back, or what I'm saying,
even what you wear, like
you're
too revealing or you're too curvy,
and you're just like, what?
And I feel like even when it comes to like the body imposter syndrome, that has a lot to do with like social media, especially like Instagram.
Absolutely. Because
there's so many women influencers who get their bodies done, and so then it causes people.
Come on, say it.
A lot of like celebrities, get their bodies done. So then it makes young women and feel like they have to get their bodies done, and young men feeling like that's the expectation. Of what they like, because that's what they like.
You're valuing fake butt, no offense to it. Rather than real ass. Okay, so we said that we were going to tie two topics together, imposter syndrome, and I'm glad you actually segued into that. We discussed expectations versus reality when it comes to social media, because we always just talk about something, but we were talking about just in general, people really be going through stuff and you'll never know that because they don't. I mean, obviously they're not gonna put it on their social media, but it's just crazy to know this is what's going on with somebody. Or it doesn't matter what accolades they have, they're still depressed or they're still going through stuff. And we can speak from that because we've been there. I mean, I know I've been there. Where people be like, "Oh my God, you're doing so well." I'm like, actually, I just finished crying like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So,
and I feel like, because you want to stay active on social media, and like for me, social media is my business now. Like I get a lot of clients through social media, so I do post a lot on social media. Not a lot, I'm trying to get better. We're gonna see how that goes.
You do pretty good for the most part though.
But like most of the time I never even post anything personal. Like I don't even post anything about me anymore, because I'm like, it's really none of their business.
No. I'll just say in general, when it comes to expectations, what we really encourage people to do is, just don't defy your expectations from everyone else's expectations on social media, or through imposter syndrome either, especially from something that, number one, is curable, and two, it's not going to be a long-lasting feeling.
Yeah, and I will say, if you do
Or
feel like you're suffering from imposter syndrome, or if you feel like that's something that could be coming up on you, I would say take a step back from social media. I'm not saying delete your account, but what I had to do was set a timer on my phone. Like I have the time limit thing on your app. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And so I only can get on Instagram for a certain amount of time in a day. Because after that, I'm just consuming things that I don't even need to be consuming or want to consume. But because there's nothing else for me to do, I'm just going to scroll. Or because I don't feel like dealing with stuff I need to do, I'm going to scroll. And so I feel like that's one thing that really helped me. And also I utilize the hide feature on certain people's profile. So you don't unfollow them and they don't know that you hid their profile. And I may be spilling some too much tea because you may didn't know who I'm hiding. But anyway, sometimes I feel like there's people that I just don't need to see. And I'm not trying to be rude. It's just I know where my headspace is sometimes. And I just don't want to see their profile.
I think that's.
But I don't want to unfollow because I do like them. But sometimes not everybody's good for you in every season. So I just hide them for a while and I'll bring them back. And if ever I think about them or come across my mind, I go to their page.
That is so true. Like, that was so mature.
Thank you, because I used to just unfollow.
But that's mature though. Like, that's mature.
Thank you.
Wow. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start hiding people's profiles.
Yeah, because they, especially the people who overpost, and I'm like, you post so much. I just see
celebrities
you
too.
Yeah, I unfollowed a lot of celebrities because I have to realize that I'm not them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I can't do what they do. You know, I can't post what they post. I don't need to act like them.
Yeah,
I'm not them.
And just like what Cardi B said, they're not role models. So like, and that's the thing too. And what I had to realize, I'm like, well, maybe if they can post whatever they want, just like I can post whatever I want. But I had to be like, okay, like my life, that's not me. I gotta go to work. Or I
kind of don't agree with that.
What you mean?
Her saying that celebrities are not role models.
Oh, they are, but
I feel like a lot of young people look up to certain people.
They do.
And then when they don't become that rapper or basketball player, then they don't know what to do with themselves. I know a couple people like that.
I hate that because, somewhere along the line, it also goes back to teaching. Like, you can't allow social media to raise your kids.
Right.
But it is a huge factor in their lives too.
Yeah, especially nowadays, and I feel like there's so many kids who have imposter syndrome and their parents don't even know it.
Don't even know it because they don't talk anymore. Like these kids don't talk.
Yeah.
Trust me, they don't talk. They don't say nothing.
Yeah.
They don't know. They don't know, baby.
I will say that I appreciate people like Zuri Hall, the entertainment.
I love her.
Yeah.
You don't love her.
At first, I was very envious of her.
Yeah.
Because she took my role in my head. I wanted to be
E-News.
On E-News.
And you still can get there.
Yeah, but she was like the black woman. It's only one. She was the only
I was just
one.
about to say it's only.
So, come on.
Which they need to do a better job.
They need to do a way better job. But that's neither here nor there. So, I was like, she took my job. But like I then did research on her to see like where she came from, and how she got there.
She did a good.
But she talked a lot about imposter syndrome and stuff like that on the Breakfast Club, and then that's what really like made me start doing a lot of research on imposter syndrome because I do feel like I was like, man, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Like that's like you're speaking word for word how I'm feeling right now.
Yes, she's got a good podcast too. We ain't gonna promote that, but she's good though. I really like her. I follow her.
I used to follow her. I used to follow her and subscribe to her YouTube channel, and sometimes then I got Aaliyah's face. I don't know if you know her on Instagram. She's a YouTuber, and I follow her and 2 other YouTubers, and I'm like, Kasey, you need to cut back because you watch their YouTube videos and you follow them on Instagram.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where if I follow you on Instagram, I can't subscribe to your YouTube. I know that sounds bad. Or Candy. Candy Burris is the only person I can,
Why her
subscribe.
podcast?
Oh, and Portia.
Why?
Huh?
Why them?
Well,
Because you watch their show.
Yep, that's it.
You follow them on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And you subscribe to their podcast.
I subscribe to Portia's podcast and I subscribe to Candy's YouTube.
So you just obsessed.
I only listen to Portia's podcast on Tuesdays, and she's talking.
I'm over you already.
She talks about, but she be talking about some good stuff. And Candy, I only watch Speak on it because she's rehashing the episode, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on because they be editing stuff.
Okay.
So I only watch hers in the season. I know that sounds bad, but I watch hers in the season.
Okay.
But Portia, yeah, I be listening to Portia.
Is there any way that you combat imposter syndrome in your workplace? How do you deal with that whenever you, like now?
Yes, so now, oh my God, okay, thank you for asking that, because now that I've got, I just been touching you, now that I've moved to another role, it really prepared me and shaped me for what I do now. So now I don't care about wearing my braids. Well, to be honest, I'm still wearing my braids, but you
thought about it a little.
I thought about it a little bit, but I'm just like, I'm getting my braids. I didn't even care about dyeing my ends of my hair. You remember I was like, oh my God. No, I dye my hair. If I want to have my wig, I'm going to put on my wig and it's going to be down here. I just don't care anymore. I'm just so done trying to make people comfortable of me. So it is what it is. I even got to the point now where things that we say culturally, like I told my coworker, she said, huh? I said, I'm sorry, I got cultured on you real quick. Let me
What'd
go
you
back.
say?
Huh?
What word did you say?
I don't even know what I said. I don't even know what I said. I just know it was something that I probably would say with you or somebody. And she's like, oh, I said, I got cultured on you really quick. I apologize. Let me switch gears. And she just laughed because she was like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. I said, and it's okay that you didn't know. I just got cultured really quick. Like I don't even care at this point anymore. Like I just at this point it's like I can't. I even told one of my coworkers who tried it, I told him, I said, don't play with me in this climate. Normally, I would just be like, brush it off. Or just be like, But I just was like, don't play with me. Like, just don't do it. So then I just unfriended him on Facebook.
Okay.
I should have never friended. That's another thing, too. Don't friend your work people on Facebook and follow them on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I made that decision, but it's okay. It's only like maybe 3 people on Facebook that are my friends. LinkedIn, maybe. I get LinkedIn. But, yeah. Don't do it, y'all. Don't do it. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, yes. So that's how I combat it. Just being... But I had to get there. Yeah. Like, it is a process.
It's a process.
So once I got there, I was like, it is what it is. I'm going to just do my thing. So.
Yeah. And for me, first of all, I did a whole major career shift.
Sure did. Oh, I got comfortable in my job, too, by the way. Like, I actually was okay. Yeah. With what I was doing. Like, I was more confident. Mm-hmm. Okay, I just had to say that because I was very kind of insecure in my first role until like later on. But that's it. That's all I got to say. Okay.
So I did a whole career shift.
Mm-hmm.
But I did start wearing braids.
You did.
I did wear braids on air. And, I started speaking up for Black people in the newsroom. And a lot of people... I don't think they like that. Mm-mm. But I know that I'm from Nashville and y'all are not. So you're not going to talk about a certain part of town like it's trash in the newsroom because I'm going to let you know that I know those people personally and they'll come fuck you up.
And you don't understand the character of the place either.
Yes. And so I was very offended. And so later on, like I had just gotten so... frustrated with having to or feeling like I should just be quiet and just laugh it off. I had to like say something like, and it's like this is getting outrageous, and so I would start speaking up more. If I didn't feel like engaging with a viewer, I wouldn't. I would say hey, and I would keep pushing. And even now I don't feel the need to wear a suit or a dress to go show a house. Like I'm literally just gonna go open the door. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to dress like that. Like I want to be comfortable and I want to be me. I want to dress like me and I want to talk like me. And if there's a client that doesn't like that, then that's just not my client. Like best of luck to you. Like what's yours is yours, and what's mine is mine.
Exactly.
And I know that, and I truly feel like that, and I don't ever feel like, other than, you know how I said about Zuri, I mean, I said that, but I don't feel like that, you know, like, obviously if I was supposed to be on E-News, I'd be on E-News.
Yes.
You know? So, I just took the time to not feel like competition with her. Not in a cocky way, but just in a self-aware way. Like, I'm okay with me.
And that is how you combat imposter syndrome. Being okay with yourself and just going through that process. Are you going to revert back sometimes? Are you going to feel like you are? But you have got to be okay with yourself. And that does take a while. Some people, it don't take that long. Mm-hmm. Others, like me, it might take a little longer. But being okay with yourself. Like, seriously, that is the truth. I know that sounds cliche, but it really is the truth.
Yeah, for sure. So, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. For more information about imposter syndrome, check out the show notes, the description box below, however you're watching this.
Oh, you want me to do that part? Oh, okay. So
just a little razzle dazzle.
Okay, a little razzle dazzle. Okay.
Razzle
So everybody, please follow us on Instagram at Authentically Naturale. We have an amazing Facebook group, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you can listen to our podcast on all platforms. Sign us off.
Woo! I forgot about that. Signing off, Authentically Naturale, the podcast. Kasey Jasmine.
Oh yes!